Y'all niggas better listen to my daddy's podcast.
Let's do it.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed.
You are now tuned in to the Smokers Lounge 420 podcast.
We call this here a little twin. Weed is from the earth.
Cheer. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge 420 podcast, the best podcast in the world. This is episode number 27. This is podcasting from a real nigga perspective. Now make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and follow us on all social media. Now right now I need you to light up something, pour you a drink, and let's vibe, god damn it. You can now get us on your smart speaker. Just say, okay Google or Alexa, play the Smokers Lounge 420 podcast, and boom, right in your face. Shout out to the Come Around Earth Network. You can catch our show on there every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Now, make sure you don't forget to join our Facebook group. We just started it. You can get a chance to catch our giveaways and shit like that. Just go to Facebook and type in the Smokers Lounge 420 podcast. God damn it. Now, right now, we're about the time I like to get into something a little inspirational, motivational. And today's inspirational words of the day is believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself. Once again, I said believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are ones that you set upon yourself. Now, what I take that to mean is, you have to believe in yourself. The only limitations that you have is the ones that you set. So if you think you can't do it, goddammit, you can do it. So just remember to keep your thoughts positive and stay motivated, because you can do it, goddammit. So once again, the inspirational words of the day is believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are the ones you set upon yourself, goddammit. Now, right now, I'd like to bring one of the best co-hosts I've ever had the pleasure of working with. They call him Big Poppy. They call him Smack a nigga who's talking shit. They call him Hater Goddamn Frick. And if you don't know who I'm talking about none other than President Miller, goddammit. So let's give it up for President Miller.
Yes, sir, man. Up in here again another week, man. We at week 27, bro.
Man, week 27 already, goddammit.
Already feels like yesterday. We just started this shit, man. Time is in a full-blown sprint these days, man.
Time is definitely flying, bro. How was your week?
Man, same as always. Just getting through it, maintaining, didn't nothing crazy pop off. How was your week, though?
Man, I can't complain, bro. Just it's summertime, so the kids is out of school, the goddamn food up and shit, so so I'm just trying to keep groceries in the goddamn fridge.
Oh, shoot. It is.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes, it's summertime. But bro, I'm very excited about today's show, bro. You know why I'm excited?
Why is that, man?
We got another great artist in the building, goddamn. He's a great dad. He's a coach of youth football. And I heard get him on the court and he's trouble, goddammit. Last week he fucked around and had a triple-double, you know what I mean? I heard he's serious on the court, goddammit. And one of the reasons he's here because he's a great MC, so without further ado, goddammit, let's give it up for HUBBS.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's good?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Chillin', man. Shout out to GMFL.
Yes, sir.
Greensburg, PA.
Goddammit, hell yeah.
Took me out the Berg for a minute. Still the Berg, though.
Yes.
This is still the Berg.
Yeah, for sure. Now, bro, before we get started, bro, I like you to give everybody your social media and let everybody know where you from. You don't smoke.
Yo, my social media, it's HUBBS.
Okay.
Basically on most of the joints, it's HUBBS. ITSHUBBS on Twitter, Instagram.
Okay.
And then on Facebook, it's HUBBS Senior.
Okay. Facebook Senior.
And what else? I think I said I don't even use nothing else. The main shit is, I guess we'll get to it, but the brand website is the main shit, the Modern Vintage brand website.
Give us that too right now, bro.
Instagram for that is Modern Vintage PGH.
Okay.
If you look on that, the link to the website is right in the bio of the Instagram page.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, where you from, bro?
From Penn Hills.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, PA. Penn Hills, man, the east.
Light one up for Penn Hills.
Far east.
Got a light one up for Penn Hills, the far east. Okay.
The furthest of east.
Okay, well, shit, bro. Let's get into it, man. How long you been rapping, bro?
Officially, I would say officially, like putting projects out since 2011. Modern Vintage 1 came out 2011.
Okay.
But I've been an MC. I mean, just with the ability to rhyme and all that, just kind of playing around with it since high school, man.
High school.
You know what I mean, I'm a '90s cat. So
Okay.
That was the '90s. We was cats freestyling and whatever, like, you know what I'm saying.
Like one up for the 90s.
What made you want to get into music, man?
Honestly, man, my biggest influence was probably my brother, man. I got a brother, shout out my brother Aleem, 6 years older than me.
Okay.
And he was kind of like, he was the one that kind of really put me on to hip hop as a culture, which naturally made me start becoming a fan of the music. Early '90s, like even late '80s.
Okay.
So by the time I was in high school, I mean, I kind of had a writing gift, just in general.
Okay.
So I just started trying my hand at writing rhymes. It was like ninth grade.
Ninth grade.
Then I did this talent show at Penn Hills, and cats was like, oh, it went crazy. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, I was a hoop dude back then, so I wasn't really trying to MC or nothing.
So from that talent show, that's when you start taking it serious?
Nah. That's when I was just kind of playing around with it.
Okay.
I did a talent show, but that's what told me that I could rhyme. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I knew I could rhyme at that point, but I didn't get serious with it until probably 10, 15 years after that. Well,
Okay.
I guess, yeah, like 15 years after that.
15. Okay.
Late 20s.
Now you said your brother was one of your influences. Now who was some of your musical influences that you was fucking with back then, bro?
I came up in the '90s, so it was like early '90s. I'll say this. See, my musical taste it ranges because I feel like my era got to see every era while we were still in like impressionable ages.
Like one up for that?
Like early '90s, it was a lot of West Coast influence in Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a G-funk and all that. But then by the mid '90s, I mean, and even back in the early '90s, I was fucking with like a Tribe Called Quest. A lot of the New York rap at that time, but I was fucking with the West Coast also too. But by the time like the mid '90s, late '90s came, I was all the way in with like Nas, Wu-Tang. You know, I still fucked with like Pop, a couple dudes like that, but I was all the way East Coast by then.
All the way East Coast.
But I was like, you know what I mean, Queensbridge, Wu-Tang,
Like when
Lots.
The golden era right there.
That's one of the best eras of hip hop right there.
That's definitely my most inspirational cats. I've seen the whole timeline of it, man. So like, it made me a fan of the culture, man.
Right, for sure.
Indeed. Next question, bro. What was the first hip hop album you owned?
My first joint, Biz Markie. I Need a Haircut. About the tape.
Like one up for that.
I remember this funny story. We was taking my brother to. I'm trying to think what we was. No. We was somewhere in Ohio or something like that visiting my family. It was around Christmas time.
Okay.
And I just had money. We was going through the mall just buying stuff. But my pops was with me, and I wanted to get. I think it was what came out. Naughty by Nature might have came out at the same time. The Naughty by Nature tape. The first shit. I tried to cop that and it had the parental advisory joint. I was like 9, 10 years old. My dad was like, nah, man. So I had to get the Biz Markie. Actually, I just remember too. I think my first shit might have actually been LL Cool J.
Oh yeah, like when
Mama Said Knock You Out. It was in like fourth grade when that came out. I think
that was that joint right
Mama
there.
Said Knock You Out. And then it was joints before that, like MC Hammer and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
Like I don't consider that really. That was just my young musical fandom. But like the first album that I really got into, I think, like when I was conscious enough, LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out, and Biz Markie. Okay, but from there, I started listening to everything.
Now, Biz Markie, I never even heard that, bro, straight up.
Oh, that was
This silly album. Silly album. Shout out to Biz Markie, though.
Yeah.
Legend.
Like one up for Biz Markie. Bro, oh shit. I'm gonna ask you. Damn, let me just ask you before. That's my bad. Bro, do you remember the first rap that you wrote? Now,
I wrote some shit to this girl when I was 10.
Could you spit a little bit of it for us?
I remember some of it. I remember like the first 3 lines, but then I'll spit my talent show rap. I remember that shit.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, do that right
5th grade, this girl I had a crush on her. I said, I'm gonna write her a rap.
Okay.
I said, this was like 91.
Damn.
I said, it's the J to the A to the M-A-R. And if you think I'm ugly, you're going too far. So that was how I started the joint. That's how I sparked it, though. But then the 9th grade joint, by 9th grade, I said, a young woman's dream with mad cream flowing from all directions, connections, Alexis with shorties, every complexion, I'm flexing, the diamond Rolex, keep my fade fresh, that I'm dressed something about gas and finesse or some shit like that, man. I was Queensbridged out by that point, so I was on like AZ, Nas.
Okay. So I mean, we gonna talk about this later, but this off rip, them is like your favorite niggas then. Okay.
I mean, it was a wide variety. Like, I'm really a big fan of the native tongues. You know what I mean? Like the Tribe Called Quest, Leaders of the New School, and De La Soul, and all those cats. Like that was a big influence because they brought kind of the consciousness and the vibes to hip hop.
Okay.
Like, it was real boom bap in the '80s, and then like Tribe Called Quest came through. They kind of added the flavor to it, like the jazzy elements,
Right.
the samples.
Okay.
Then they're talking about a very conscious subject matter too. And I was young, like. Probably like 10 when that came out, the Low End Theory. I was in 5th grade. I remember that Scenario.
I remember
So
Scenario.
those joints really inspired me back then, for sure.
How many projects do you have total now? Man, the first one we got put on was the Modern Vintage.
Yeah.
We were got put on by our manager at the time, OGs.
Yes. Like one up for OGs.
Shout out to OGs, man.
At OGs.
We was on the way to a show to IUP. Yeah, put the tape in. He was like, yo, while we riding, introduce you to the homie HUBBS.
Right.
So we rode all the way just jamming out Modern Vintage, and I was like, yo.
I was like, yeah.
Word.
I was like, I don't know who homie is, but he
Word.
said some shit
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
like,
Word.
He kicking that knowledge too
Word.
as well, man. So,
Yeah, so
how many other projects you got in total, man?
I got 9 now.
9.
Yeah.
God damn.
So we ended up doing 3 Modern Vintages.
Like one up for that.
So we got 3 Modern Vintages. We had Present Future.
Okay.
You had Peace of Mind. That was a real pivotal point. Me and Jit Beats put an official album we did.
Okay.
From Staten Island. Peace of Mind. After that, I had the Black Privilege. We had the Big Hurt. We had William Penn, which is my current joint that dropped in like December.
Okay.
That's my most recent joint, William Penn. I think that's it. I think that's all of them though. And we about to put some other shit out soon too.
So that's 9 since 2011?
Yeah.
That's work.
Yeah.
You've been working, bro. Shout out for that, man.
Like one of those
Shout out to the work ethic, man.
I feel like I gotta do something at least every year. Some years I've done 2 projects, but I gotta do at least 1 every year. I have to.
Okay, now this ain't even on our list, bro. But what I've noticed about you from like just watching from afar, it seems like you have like a cult fan base. It seems like these motherfuckers like wait for you to drop some shit, and then when you do, they be all over it. Like it's like that's me looking outside in it. Is that how it is?
It's I mean, I won't say a cult like following, but I definitely have a loyal fan base. The people that fuck with me, they'll rock with me, man. I probably put stuff out 10 years later, people still check with me. The same group, the same people. It started with Pittsburgh, honestly, like the real. I hate the term real hip hop, but like. You know, the brand of music that I do, there's a lot of fans of that kind of music in Pittsburgh. And then from there, I connected with Jit Beats through the 58s, which is what it was killing in Pittsburgh.
Like went up for the 58s.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Jit Beats kind of found me through doing collabs with the 58s and shit. And so from there, bro, like I connected into a whole other network of things. Like Jit's from New York, so when you see me on like Shade 45 and all them shows and shit like that, that's the culture of people, not even culture, but that's the community of people that accepted me kind of after Peace of Mind. Like they got welcome to me when I dropped Peace of Mind. Everything before that was just all Pittsburgh shit. Nobody really knew me outside of that. But then the Peace of Mind, man, that was like a global project. You know what I mean? Because we really released that, put the right marketing behind it. And, underground hip hop heads, they loved it. So that's pretty much the people that's been supporting me ever since, because that's just the type of music I do, man. And that's my basic philosophy on everything. So.
Now you brought up the satellite radio, man, because I always see you up there. So you built the connection with the actual DJs and shit.
Yeah, well, DJ Eclipse, shout out to DJ Eclipse.
Like
Tony Touch, also Toka.
Like went up for him.
So how that came about, man. So again, we did the Peace of Mind album, and Jit and Eclipse, I mean, they was familiar with each other from the New York underground scene and all that.
Okay.
But we put that out, and it's crazy. My man from Penn Hills, shout out my man Chris Harris.
Like went up for him.
He lives in New York. He moved to New York after high school.
Okay.
And so he's a hip hop head. Goes to all the local parties and all that. He's a promoter. And so he hits me one day after I had noticed that Eclipse was playing he was playing the album on Sirius.
Oh,
He had a
shit.
show on Hip Hop Nation.
Okay.
Rappers Out of Control. So I started noticing in the playlist, and then somebody told me, like, yo, I heard HUBBS on Sirius. I'm like, word? I didn't even know. So I looked up the playlist. I see DJ Eclipse had been playing the Peace of Mind album. So I'm like, word, that's dope. I wonder, you know what I mean? That shit's crazy. It traveled to that. I was hyped.
Right.
So then my man Chris from Penn Hills hits me up like, yo, I was at this party and bumped into DJ Eclipse. And I told him I was from Pittsburgh and whatnot. He said the first thing he asked me was, yo, you know someone named HUBBS from Pittsburgh? Because I've been playing his album on my show. And he said, yo, HUBBS, that's my man from back in the day. We grew up, you know what I mean? Same street, basically.
Right.
I've known HUBBS all my life. So he's like, man, we love his album. Tell HUBBS, anytime he's in the city, in New York City, stop by the radio station. And, you know what I mean? Every time I'm up there. Every time. Man, I've been on there probably 6, 7 times, man.
Okay.
Like, just because it's love, like, he's a true, he truly appreciates the music and the culture of it. You know what I mean? And he's a dude that's just, he's raw with it. So the fact that he shows love, I take that as it's one of the highest compliments, the support that he gives me.
Okay. What was his name again?
DJ Eclipse.
Man, shout out one for DJ Eclipse. Now, what's your thoughts on releasing like albums versus singles?
I don't see nothing wrong with singles, but I usually just go in and do a whole project. Like I feel like I waste a piece of a puzzle. Like my album is like a puzzle full of songs. It's like pieces to the puzzle.
Okay.
When I put a track out loose, it's like, damn, I could have put that on a project. Could have been a part of that. Could have been part of the build up on the project or whatever. Like,
right.
So I usually save all my tracks. I do collabs with people. That's really my loose work that you'll hear. It's just me on other people's shit.
Okay.
I put a couple things out here and there, like between. But I think it's important to kind of keep your buzz going, so to speak. So I should probably be doing more of that, but it's not really been my thing.
Okay. Now for the artist that's out there and loving the hub shit, man. Like, what's the fees these days for features, man?
Man, it's I'll just say it's negotiable. I'm not even gonna put a number out there.
Okay.
Like, it's wild. People hit me up, man, and it really depends on the vibe I get from people.
Okay.
If I have a relationship with that person, I don't know. I'm flexible with it.
And if they're ass.
I mean, that's part of it how I even do this shit. 'Cause that's real, man. Like collabs, people underestimate how real a collab is. Like,
right.
We're making music, which is like a vibe. Music is a vibration, man, and it's a wave. When you're doing a collab, like you're intertwining your energy with someone else and like sending that up, like, you know what I mean? So if they ain't on the same wavelength as you,
right?
Like you could, you know what I mean? Like you might not want to do that.
Yeah, because we had Quest here a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, shout out Quest.
Yeah, I went for Quest, man, and he was talking about, he was mad as hell about some of his features because he was just doing it for the bread and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said he would take that back. So
yeah,
I mean that's big how you saying like the vibe and shit. You know what I mean?
The vibe matters, man. I mean it just shows. It kind of shows your purpose of making music when you collab with someone. If you're just doing any type of collab, I'm not gonna say like I won't sell a verse to someone or something like that. Like
right.
I'll do it, but I'm very careful about stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Next question, bro. What is your favorite song you've recorded so far? Do you have a favorite one?
I was thinking about this recently because I was listening to some of my old shit. Lost Privileges for sure off the Black Privilege album. That's definitely up there. Damn. Some shit off the Peace of Mind album. Probably Commencement is up there. Off the William Penn album, I did a lot of joints on the William Penn album. That's really some of my favorites. Green Grass is a favorite. I don't know, Lost Privileges. I'll probably say Lost Privileges on the Black Privilege album. That's probably my heaviest track where I really went in and the production was just crazy.
Okay, now what's your thoughts on Pittsburgh hip hop right now, bro?
It's interesting, man. Pittsburgh's an interesting place. I try to be objective about it, and I try to contribute light to my opinions on it. I've been through a lot of journeys and travels through the Pittsburgh hip hop community and whatnot. At this point, I try just look at it with light. I think it's a city that has a lot of promise in it. There's a lot of young talent that's coming up. That's very creative cats.
Okay.
Light one up for them. Yeah. I think there's a good seed that can be watered with the youth of Pittsburgh for sure. It ultimately comes down to how much people invest in these people to try to stimulate the talent that's around here and kind of take it to the next level.
Okay.
I think with now what I do, like the hip hop shit, the boom bap and all that, there's not a lot of that in Pittsburgh. Like I kind of feel a lot of times like a lone ranger in that category, and that's why you'll see me in New York a lot, where I'm like seemingly more, connected at times, even though I'm from Pittsburgh.
Right.
It's crazy, but there are cats that's even in that lane too. And usually those are the dudes that you hear me collab with, shit like that. But,
since you said that, bro, if you don't even want to get into this question, you don't got to. You can just give me a yes or no. But do you think Pittsburgh is a hater city?
There's a lot of dark energy in Pittsburgh. I'll say that. There's a lot of dark energy in Pittsburgh, which can lead to things like hate, jealousy, envy, competitiveness. But I don't like to get too far into the details anymore. I'll just say there's a lot of dark energy in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And all I'm gonna say is we gotta put some more light on it, or it gets a little bit imbalanced, man. It can. So there's definitely some hate in Pittsburgh. I think it ultimately comes down to, again, why are you making music? A lot of people get in the game because they have this goal of like making it big and being a star and like, oh, I'm gonna get rich. And so people, when it's a community of people with that same goal,
right,
you end up kind of competing with each other though. So you can't really root for people. You can't really appreciate the next man's music or anything, because it's like, man, that's my rival right there. And it's really not supposed to go down like that. Like, you're supposed to really build off of each other, be inspired by each other. It's still competitive because it's hip hop. I mean, there's battling in hip hop and shit
right,
like that. But it's not competitive to where you're trying to diffuse someone else's entire vibe. Like, if that person's dope, that's like a brotherhood almost. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And you don't get a lot of that type of vibe. I mean, there's definitely is that in Pittsburgh, because I have my brothers in Pittsburgh hip hop for sure. Dudes that have become brothers.
Right.
But I think it's a little bit imbalanced when you get into the competitive stuff, because again, the goals are not, hey, I just want to contribute good music to a community, an environment. See what comes of that. It's more like, damn, I see what they're doing, and damn, I want to get to that level. And it's just like anyone that's in the way of that is it's like a rival. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, like you said, it shouldn't be like that, because, for instance, Atlanta, all these niggas is making trap music for the most part, but you're showing love. You're showing love each other. Now, there's not all that hate. So I mean, I just wish it could be a little bit more like that, a little bit.
There needs to be. I mean, the thing about Pittsburgh is not necessarily a rap or like a hip hop. It's a rock and roll city. It's that type of city. So when it comes to rap, the culture here, there's not a lot of hands in it that are, I guess, influencing the community of it in a from a business standpoint and things like that. Like, it's very few people that's doing that. So when you have few people doing that, those few people are going to only have a few people that they might want to rock with. And then it's like, damn, there's a whole city of people that's just kind of seemingly have a hopeless dream. And it's like they just all hate each other because it's like, damn, ain't none of us making it, man. Damn, like, they just kind of taking it out on each other.
I got you there.
Man.
With that being said, man, who are some of your favorite Pittsburgh artists? Because when we had Quest up here, we asked him the same question. Your name came out and he said, my favorite dude in Pittsburgh is HUBBS right now.
He said, period.
Period. He's like, HUBBS is my man.
Shout out to Quest, man. Me and Quest build a lot, man, beyond music too, man. But Quest is certainly included in that. Shad Ali included in that.
Like one up for him?
Yup. Definitely, I rocked with the 58s, as I already said earlier. All them cats, you know what I mean? I got much respect for the whole 58s. There's a lot, man. BD, I've done records with.
Okay.
Varsity, that's John Quest people, Varsity Squad.
Like one up for Varsity Squad.
So usually the people you hear me collab with on the albums, man, them is the people that I really rock with. And even producers. I mean, I got my man Nice Work, got P Hot. So a lot of the local producers too, beyond just even MCs.
Another question I wanted to ask is not even on the list, man, is how do you work in the studio? I mean, some people like to go to the studio, listen to the beat and right there. You know what I mean?
Man, I wish, because when I go to the studio, I always feel like I'm on the clock, man,
Right.
and I hate that feeling. Like,
And that's real though, cause you paying. That's
yo,
on the clock.
I hate that feeling, man, because if I had it at my crib or something like that, like I probably would approach it like that. Maybe go downstairs, just build, maybe write a little bit, record a little bit, come back,
Right.
whatever. But I mean, now basically I go to the lab with my bars and the beat ready, and I just try to get as much done as possible.
Yeah, well, we try to go to the studio with the whole project.
Now I will redo tracks. Like if I'm going through it and I don't like it when I listen to the ref track, I'll go redo it the next time. And it's like sometimes you feel like you're wasting money, but I mean it's just the investment on a good track. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Right, man. Indeed. I feel that for sure, man.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Now, bro, let's take me back to modern vintage. Take me through like your mindset, like what you was trying to prove with your first song,
Man.
That shit was crazy.
Modern vintage, man. Yeah, so modern vintage is like my life from that point and prior. Like modern vintage is where you get everything of my life, like my inspirations of all of it, you know, up until 2011.
Okay.
So, you know, one presentation. My other albums, it's really like me in the present moment at all times.
Right.
It's like here's my perspective right now, and you know I might draw upon current events, current vibes, whatever. But that first shit was like me from that point and prior. So that whole process, it's funny, man. I wrote the whole shit without telling anyone that I was gonna drop an album or anything. Even my friends, I didn't tell anyone. Like I just wrote the whole shit, and I essentially recorded the whole shit without telling anyone. That's when I was coming to Hit, and I told Hit like, yo, I'm about to just drop a project out of nowhere. Like people say, yo, you should rap, you should do your thing, you wasting your talent. And I just decided like, man, I'm gonna just surprise people. I'm not gonna promote it because no one knew me. I couldn't say like, yo, I got an album coming. No one knew.
Hold on, bro. Your
who I was.
first project, you just dropped out of nowhere. You surprised niggas?
No one knew. So I'm about to find that in the Facebook timelines, man. When I just came out of nowhere, like I caught this, bro. That's all fact. My friends didn't even know. My friends knew I could rap, but they didn't know I was going to the studio and laying down an official project. So when it got right up to the point where I was about to, I started telling people like, yo, I have a project and it's crazy, and I'm about to just drop it out of nowhere. I don't know anyone out. I don't know anyone in Pittsburgh. I don't know no Pittsburgh rappers. I know Wiz Khalifa, Boaz. I've heard their music, like S Money. I didn't even know Mac Miller at the time. Like I didn't know nothing. Like I was still on my hip hop shit. I didn't really fuck with Pittsburgh as far as like the rap scene.
Right,
I didn't really know much about it, like other than the main dudes. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna just put a CD out. I want to do something in my 20s because I think I was like 28, something like that around the time. I'm like, before I turn 30, I gotta put a project out. I'm gonna just throw it out. So then I just put it out. It was the Super Bowl. I think the Steelers was playing in that year, 2011, wasn't it? Seahawks maybe.
We were playing the Packers.
Yes. I dropped it on Super Bowl Sunday, out of nowhere. Everyone's watching the game, and then I just kind of just threw it out there, like, put it through the sound waves, bro. And then, before you know it, Facebook, man, like, everybody's sharing the joint, like, yo, man, if you like this type of shit, you gotta hear this. And it just spread, like, it spread quickly around Pittsburgh. And then I put a video out for that first shit, the piano shit, 92 intro, about 6 months after that.
Okay.
And then that's when everyone was like, a lot of the people who hadn't heard the album yet, that's when they knew, that's when they was like, yo, what is this shit from? Then they heard Modern Vintage at that point.
Okay.
And then from there, like, it was love, man, after that. Like, it was crazy love after that. But that whole recording process was just a secret process. Me and Hit, man, we just did the whole shit on some, like, secret mission type shit.
Okay. So that was that one. Now, is the recording process the same for your new joint? Are you?
Nah, now I just catch the vibe, man. Like I sit, like I said, I don't put a lot of loose music out in between or nothing like that. I'll just sit and catch the vibe of what it needs to be said. You know, what I feel needs to be spoken on behalf of the people, behalf of love, the behalf of the light, whatever. At that moment in time, whenever I'm just triggered to speak, like I don't know, it just comes to me, and I'll just get inspired, and I'll just go in, man. But it's like I said, it's always kind of in the moment. Like it's not. It's like me right now.
Okay.
Within some kind of metaphorical, character or whatever you want to call it. But it's always me, kind of my present moment consciousness of things. Whereas my first album again was like me reflecting on a lot of old shit. Even there's even old raps on Modern Vintage One, man. Like just raps. I even drew from some of them raps, them high school raps on that album. Like I have my old round books, man. I pulled a couple of lines out of there. So that's the main difference between that shit and my new shit. It's always present day nowadays.
Now, what made you want to name it William Penn?
So William Penn, I spelled it P-E-N. So a pen, first of all, just a pen, just because I really value the craftsmanship of the pen, penmanship.
Okay.
So I took it there, and then William Penn is kind of like, I tied it into the Penn Hills shit too. There's even an elementary school, Penn Hills, in Penn Hills called William Penn. And then I just started noticing his name a lot around Pittsburgh, and I'm like, it kind of inspired me. I'm just like, yo, that would be an ill album title, seeing that. And, I thought of it without the N on the end.
Okay.
Like, that shit would be ill. So I don't know. Shit just comes to me, man. Like my latest shit has been characters. Like I had the Big Hurt, which I inspired from like Frank Thomas, and I kind of get into character.
Like when they put Frank guy.
Big Frank, boy.
William Penn was like, I'm gonna jump into this character and really flex the pen game on this album, and really get nasty with this pen game. Show the power of the pen. So that's where that came from.
So pen bias.
Mhm.
Tell us about that joint, bro.
Pen bias. So pen bias just draws back to the fact that the pen is mighty and the pen is forever, as opposed to Len Bias, who unfortunately passed away early, young legend. But it's just a play on words, really. I was trying to think of every possible word I could use with pen that I could substitute it in. I had a couple of tracks where I had pen something, pen ad, penthouse suites, where it was pen but kind of a play on words. But pen bias kind of came. It was just one of them things. I thought of Len Bias and I was like, dang, this song is kind of it's kind of parallel to that. But I'm going to show how the pen never dies, though. Like the pen is just forever. Even if I'm gone, the pen is still going to be there.
Okay,
So
man. Well,
it's like the story of Len Bias. If Len Bias didn't die, because the pen kept breathing.
Well, let's get into that joint, man.
Word up.
sir.
Getting vibes right here about HUBBS.
Shout out my man Sebastian Hotstein on the track, right out of Germany.
Like one up for him in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bro, so when you say don't let them get inspired, tell us what you mean.
So don't let them get inspired. It's like, first, man, you just have to know who you are, first of all. Know yourself. And when you know yourself, you don't really let, how can I put this, man? Like, you gotta glow it out, man. You know what I mean? And if you glow it out, the forces that's against you, they won't get inspired. You know what I mean? If you truly know what type of vibe, you're really letting out. It's like, that's your job, is to not let that side of the forces get inspired. Like,
Right.
it's really on you to do that. If you're of the light, from how I look at it. It's like, if you letting them get inspired, then that means you're not on your shit. You know what I mean? So don't let them get inspired, man. Because once they get inspired, it could be a problem, and it could be a problem that you helped create. You know what I'm saying? Because you weren't on your shit, which would have kept them from being inspired in a dark way. It's really about light and dark.
That's deep right there. Because I didn't even know you was going there until you said it.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear it? Like, there go HUBBS, don't let him get inspired.
Yeah.
That's like the agents, like, watching me, like,
Right.
don't let him get inspired.
Right.
I'm like, nah, don't let them get inspired. It's always about the spiritual warfare, man. At the end of the day, most of my shit is about the spiritual warfare of light and dark.
I do have a question, man. I just want to know, like when you're writing, like I realize all the syllables you rhyme, the intermediate rhyming and everything like that, the entendres. Do those things come quick and naturally to you? You know what I mean? Because some people stack ammo. You know what I mean? That little side notebook where they have such things like okay.
It comes to me, man. Honestly, I really get into my spirit when I rhyme, man. Like I look at music as a very spiritual thing. So I'm already in like a place of just divine inspiration when I'm writing. So once I start writing and I get my first idea of where I want to go with the track or what the theme is that's on my heart, it kind of just comes to me, man. It comes to me. Now, what I will do sometimes, I have certain lines and things that might come to my head while I'm driving or something like that, like a quick 2-bar or 4-bar. It's like, oh, that was good. I can build on that. And I'll tuck it away in my phone, and then I'll build on it later. I call it the stitching. I'll just stitch it up. At the end of it, I'll take like a bunch of different little 4-bars and that I had, on the same theme and just put it together into like one rap. But usually, man, I just get on the vibe, bro. And it just comes to me, man. Like I'll just vibe with it, just write it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, so you said one of your favorite joints on listening to William Penn is Greengrass.
Oh yeah.
So tell us about that joint, bro.
Green grass is basically about like, man, the grass is not always greener, and only an illusion would allow you to always think that that's the case. Like it's like a default way that we think as humans is like, the greener grass. And it's like, nah, sometimes you just have to level up where you're already at, man, instead of always looking to the other side of things and changing your whole perspective of like green grass is really again, it just represents, staying on the same side of things, man, not playing both sides of the fence and shit like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let's get into green grass, bro.
Shout out to Bills on the track. Pete Bills.
I like one of for Bills.
It's less green without the glow.
Ah.
That's precisely what it fools do, man. It's always spiritual warfare, bro. Every track, man. Straight up. Like, cats be wanting the instant gratification, man. That's really what that track's about right there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Cats want that instant green grass. They get on the green side, they realize it's like some plastic blades fucking get sliced up and shit. Fake ass grass. You know what I mean? Land on astroturf. You thought it was grass, it was really like turf.
Like when the fruit.
Got rug burn.
So, bro, with music and everything, man, what's your ultimate goal? I seen before you said it's not about the fame or the money, so.
My goal is longevity, man. I want to be able to contribute to this culture for a long time, man. And what I think is when you do it in a pure way and in a timeless way, you can do that. And you know, as you're doing that, you're continuing to build fans and opportunities to do different things, and they come naturally. They just pop up. I just want to keep enjoying that ride right there, like you know, independently, really. And that's my goal, just to continue to contribute light through my creative talents. Just contribute, you know, and build my brand through that too. Now, you know, we kind of incorporated the branding into Modern Vintage Pittsburgh. So that's a big plan of it too, just to kind of incorporate it all together and kind of be one force of everything I do. That's a big part of the goal right now. But as far as the fame and all that, I'm not going to do anything that compromises the light that I want to put in things. Like, I think a lot of times you have to give up some of that when you get to different levels. You have to compromise certain elements of things. And sometimes people think it's worth it because, again, the goal is, you know, I might need money. I need to be that dude or whatever. Like, but for me, like, I feel like the money can come and it can come off of your own accord. Like, you don't need to sell yourself short. You might make more money than a label could have gave you if you just put the right effort and vision behind what you're doing. Like, so I'm really just trying to keep doing that and see where that goes. That's really what my goal is, and to be able to you know, have longevity with that.
That's real right there, man.
Any more questions for part one? Okay, well, bro, that was the easy part, bro. People, this is the Smokers Lounge 420 podcast. God damn it, I am Mr. Styles.
I'm Prez Miller.
Oh, HUBBS. HU is in the building, man. HUBBS.
Hell right. Make sure people you see the smoke weed every day shirt. You know what I mean? You know the ad libs. You can get this on the website, thesmokerslounge420.com. We got the smokerslounge420.com logo, shirts, hats, panties, whatever you want. Just go and get it. Goddamn it, you know what I mean? Yeah. That was dope right there, bro.
Thank you.
That was dope right there. So now let's get real, bro. So when you hear people say that why don't black people protest black on black crime like they do police killings, what comes to your mind?
Ignorance. It could be ignorance. It also could be purposely insulting to say.
Okay.
So it could be two things. I think when people, there's a lot of layers to it, man. There's a lot of layers to it. But on the surface, on a very general level, I'll say when people say that, they don't understand the reality that you know, crime and violence is a human thing. It's not anything that's designated to black people enough that it should have its own category. Like white people kill white people.
Like
White people kill white people. Chinese people kill Chinese people.
Lost that layer already.
Oh, I got it. My bad.
Oh shit. Yeah,
But it's an easily exploitable narrative, though, just to kind of have the scapegoat and not have to sort through the reality of a lot of these tragedies that's going on in the community. It's just like, you know, we don't really want to go all the way into that, so we're just going to say, man, black on black crime, and make it sound like it's some like distinct phenomenon. And it's bullshit, though. That's just a part of the propaganda and the illusions of the Matrix, man.
Okay, and then, man, one day I caught you going in on a Breakfast Club. No, real shit. And you said it was toxic to the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that, bro.
So, far as I see Breakfast Club, and I'm not even going to specifically, as I address it, I think I can cover a multitude of things and knock more than one stone out.
Okay.
Or knock, whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
You get what
More
I'm
birds and shit.
I'm not really a mainstream guy, as you see. I mean, I'm an underground MC.
Okay.
I'm not really for a lot of the radio and stuff you might hear on the radio, the mainstream radio, because to me, we don't own these entities, and it could easily get tied into something that becomes our talents being exploited to perpetuate certain narratives and certain generalizations, stereotypes, certain ways of viewing us as a people.
Right.
So when you look at the mainstream now, and this is a layered question. When you look at the mainstream now, as opposed to the '90s, where you might have turned on Whammo and heard KRS-One,
Right.
Or Wu-Tang on Whammo, or you cut on your TV, MTV. Damn, there goes Nas and any of them, the EPMD. The mainstream in those times was when our culture still kind of had the grip over the business, because we were still building our art at that point. We was building the value of rap. And so the business people, they needed us. They didn't know what it could grow into, but they needed us to grow the value of rap music. So you would hear that shit, the best of the best at any time. Over time, they started seeing like, damn, this shit is a lucrative art now. But we're seeing how it became lucrative because we started sensationalizing, some of the tragedies and the trauma that's going on in the communities.
Right.
We started glorifying things, and we're seeing how that sensational rap is generating more money. So let's make a whole culture out of that, just for the monetary part of it.
Right.
And once you start getting into that, you start reaching, man. You start digging and putting illusions out, man. You're not really representing us correctly at that point, because the whole goal is now to get money. It's not, let's build the value of rap music. When you're building the value of rap music, you're going to get people's best contribution to it.
Right.
So you got that through the 80s, through a lot of the 90s, you got that. By the time the late 90s came, the mainstream got taken over, because it was like, yo, you either trying to get this money or you out the way. We don't care about bars and trying to light people and all that. Nah, we trying to put the product out that's going to get the most money. That's it. That's when you start seeing Diddy, this is right around time when Pac and Big died. Right after that, man, it became Cash Money. You had Diddy out here doing things. You had, that's when Nelly was getting money. It became like a money thing. Even Jay-Z, he was a lyrical dude and all that, but his whole shit was like money, 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 money. And before that, it was about the art. Now it's like really about money. And you can see how it shifted, because at that point also what happened was the underground lane was formed. Right? The underground came at that point, because it was a group of people who said, nah, like we don't want to just sell hip hop out and not make real hip hop anymore. We want to keep making real hip hop. Like I don't want to join the industry and all that.
Right.
So then gradually a whole lane is created. Eminem came through that. There's a lot of cats that came through that lane. Legends like MF Doom and dudes like that. That lane is formed. And then you have dudes on the other side who said, yeah, I want to make the money. When you went that route, from like 97, 98 on, when you go the mainstream route, it's like it became more and more and more exploitable and therefore detrimental to our culture. All because of money. All because of money. And making our shit lucrative. And when you see how that started happening, the craft of the art started going down also. You went from lyrical shit to, and you don't even gotta be lyrical, but the point is like the content shifted from, a little bit of enlightenment, you know what I mean? This is like representing us again. We like to call ourselves a lot of things, woke, this, that, the third. The music, the culture represented that, and then it went from that to representing a business plan. It's like, yo, how we make an album that makes the most money? And then they write it up like, we gotta make this type of song. We're gonna release this track. That's gonna be good for clubs. We'll do this.
Right.
And it's like you're like manufacturing someone's art, which is your soul. Like to me, your art is your soul. It's like putting your soul into tangible form. When you're doing it for a business plan, bro, you're putting a business plan into creative form, which can be very dark, because behind that business plan is a lust and love for money. And so when you do that, now your themes is starting to get shaped around that. Because these business dudes, they know what is going to be sensational enough. Like, it's all about the sensation.
Right.
Like, it's not so much about the force. It used to be the force. Like, yo, you hear that? You get a vibe out of a Wu-Tang album. You hear the whole force of what they talking about. And you feel like your whole shit is lit up after listening to some fucking, a whole Wu album, Raekwon, like Nas and them. You don't get that. Now they just want you to get the feeling real quick, the sensation. You know what I mean? So it's going to be over. The frequencies get kind of turned up a little bit. The themes are real sensational themes.
Okay.
Everything's sexual. You know, get fucked up, feel good, get fucked. You know what I mean? And it's like it's all about the quick sensation. And we still don't own really anything in this business. So the people that's making this type of music, like the minds behind it, it's not people, it's not even us, you know what I'm saying? So it's not representative of us.
Right.
And then what happens is the impressionable listeners, the kids who are growing and realizing what's real, they end up believing that that's real. Because they're learning, just like I was learning in the 90s when it was actually real.
Right.
They're like, yo, the dudes on TV, they're rich. That's real right there. Da-da-da-da. And it's like, these are manufactured people from people that just want to get money. And they have other agendas behind why they're making music be that way. I mean, this is still the same people that had their dealings with our ancestors. These are bloodlines of the same people, man. And like, they still have the same narrative going on out there, bro. You know what I mean? And they just use different tools and different avenues to do it. Entertainment and music is one of the biggest and easiest ways to do it because it's spiritual, man. Once you oppress someone spiritually, like, you can kind of control them after that.
Right.
And now you're making money off them while you're controlling them and shit like that. So I've watched it, man. Like, I feel at this point, objectively, it's imbalanced in the mainstream. Like, you always had your ignorant shit in rap music, shit that could be dark or glorified shit, but it was always balanced. In the mainstream now, you can tell that our culture, our representation doesn't control the business. The business controls what is being put out. And that's why everything sounds the same. There's a formula to everything. The beats is the same. Like, cats is flowing the same. There's no regional style. So you could be from New York and sound just like somebody in Cali or Atlanta. And it's like, y'all look the same too. Y'all dress the same. You got the same Instagram shit. It's like everyone's just the same because they're trying to make rap be something that anyone can do. You know what I'm saying? Once you make it to that where it's like, boom, y'all, this is the rap, this is the look, this is the sound. Now anybody can do it. Now you can make anyone sell records. It's easy now. You don't got to dig for the next Wu-Tang. None of that. You don't have to because it's like it doesn't really take a lot of effort to make a rap album in this day and age that's going to create this sensation. All we got to do is get some hard producers.
Right.
Get the dude to pick up the same flow pattern as like Migos or something, you know, get a hard beat, get some catchy theme or whatever, and it's like you can sell records like that. So which brings me to the Breakfast Club. To me, the Breakfast Club is just a domain and entity that is of that same culture.
Okay.
Of the mainstream rap music where I feel like there's just a lot of exploitation that goes on. It's like a lot of our ignorant themes, a lot of our skewed ways of looking at things, a lot of the actual music that is exploitable. The exploitable parts of our culture, that's what's being pumped on it. And with that can bring confusion, man. Confusion is always the goal of the opposite force.
Right.
To create confusion, man. And when you're doing the Breakfast Club and you're kind of adding to the entertainment of that, which is not real entertainment to me at that point, it's like programming.
Okay.
But when you add the Breakfast Club to that, it kind of just puts more fuel to the fire of what's already been corrupted. And they're kind of like putting a stamp of okay on it and making it even more entertaining. It's like, yo, look how ignorant we are. Look how, isn't it funny? And it's like, it's not all bad because I think it is good to bring in some of these rappers and see what their perspective is, right on the spot where they didn't have time to prepare for it all like that. Some heavy topics and shit like that. Like, I think it's cool to be able to have that eye on them. I mean, we get videos, shit now, we can put it right on YouTube. And it's like we get to really analyze these dudes and see what their thought process is. I think there's value in that. But as far as being entertained by it, I think it could be dangerous though, because it's of our trauma and our dark sides of our community and our culture. for money. You know what I mean? It's one of them shows that's going to generate money, bro. You know what I mean? It's a big time seller. So the focus then becomes creating a sensation.
Okay, now let me ask you this, bro. What do you think would be a good solution for the cops whooping our ass? Like, I mean,
I think
is there anything we can do better, or like what do you?
when I look at the law, you know, and even like white supremacy, I think it's a very spiritual matter. I think we as black people have power that we don't realize because we've been programmed to view ourselves a certain way.
Okay.
I think that if, and even our spiritual domains have been infiltrated a little bit with some darkness, like, you know, the churches and things like that. It kind of throws off the way we view who we actually are.
Okay.
With that said, these police officers, they need our fear in order to have power. It's from how I look at it. Because when I look at things spiritually, I know who, you know, the author of power, I know who the author of fear is. I know who the author of illusions and kill, steal, destroy, and all those type of things. Which is, you know, a lot of what the agenda that the police are on, because they have a specific plan. It's an energy, though. It's the energy they carry that can we can almost attract it if we're not in the right vibe ourselves. That's one half of the battle. That's how you have to come into it. You know what I mean? Now there's tangible things to do after that point. But the preface is, we got to be in the right spiritual place, because these designs, like the police force and shit like that, the shit's like, it's very dark, man. It's coded. Like, their systems and shit like that are very coded to the dark side. Like, they have very dark agendas. So you have to be on the right vibe, or you'll give traction to, you know, this magnetic energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll attract that shit, man. Like, so you have to go into it like that. Like, when you see a cop, man, and you talk to a cop, you can't have any fear in your heart at all. Like, they're programmed to sense that shit and exploit that shit, and then flip it and act like you threatened them. You know what I'm saying? They would not have that without any donation of fear that you give them, or pride, or anything dark, because they're programmed for that. They're fishing for your dark side, because they know who you are. They know that they don't really have authority over you. They know that. So they have to create an illusion for you to really fear that shit and be like, you know, because then they don't come to you. So that's how you have to come into it, as far as a mind frame.
Okay.
As far as the tactical parts of it, I think we need to understand the laws better in this country. There's some very deep things, and I'm not even going to get really too deep into that. I think it's for people to search for. A lot of the answers are like right before our face, though, man.
Okay.
And I think that we, as black people, have a lot of ignorance about, and not even black people, people of all shades in this country, of a certain class and certain consciousness. There's a lot of ignorance about the laws and what the law is and how these laws came about and all those kind of things. We have to educate ourselves on the law, because it's really like our number one enemy. You know, the jail's like 70%, 80% black, and we make up like 10% of the nation. That's mathematics that's very obviously skewed. You know what I'm saying? Disproportional. And there's a reason for that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, we're the more violent people, so yeah, there's more of us in jail. Nah, like, it's like a literal design for a specific purpose. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of illusion involved with that. It's like, there's a lot of it, bro. There's a spiritual part of it, there's a tangible part of it, and we have to be in the right vibe to where we can pick those things up in our consciousness. And that's a huge part of the root of what's going on out here. That's really how I feel about the law. Like, we have to understand the laws, first of all. Like, really read into it and see how the laws were created in this country. Like look into it.
Okay.
Once you get there, you'll have the right context of things to be able to approach it with light. Thirdly, the last thing I'm gonna say, we're in the age of information and like communication, where everyone has an opinion, and we're on the internet, and we have these communication domains and things like that. We have to use those domains to instill light. So if there's some fucked up shit that went on, or people are ignorant to something, I think that we have to use these domains as tools to put light and awareness and insight and anything that's going to lead to our enlightenment, because those are the elements and variables that's going to help us rise above the dark plots that are against us. And they're very deliberate, tangible things, man. It's like coding. Like it's really like a code that you have to not fall victim to. It's like the Matrix. I mean, we seen the Matrix.
Right.
Like you don't want to be one of the people that is in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a boundary and a bind that comes with that kind of goes against your capabilities and you know everything that you're capable of, man. Like you don't really have to subscribe to it, really. And the only way you do is your fear. You know, it's all about fear and love.
Okay.
Yep.
The next question. What are you telling your kids to do when they run into the law? You know what I mean? Like, what do you tell them if you do have a run-in with the police? These are the things you must follow to avoid, you know what I mean, what we, as Black Americans go through.
I tell them first, since we view the law as the beast, there's a reason why you say, oh, the beast. There's a reason why you're saying that, because these departments are coded to those codes, bro. It's dark shit. So my first thing with them is, you see the cops, first thing you do is, you could pray, whatever. Just realize who you are in God, though. Realize the godliness of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not guilty. You're not guilty at all right now. Like, you have a power that can claim authority over the darkest of forces in this world. So realize that first. Now that'll put you in the right place to where you don't have fear of these people. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, just realize what their plot is, because you don't want to feed into or put fire on what their plot is. You already know they hate your guts. First of all, you know that. So don't go into it expecting to have a conversation where their goal is to like agree with you or see you in a good way or see you as innocent or any of those things. Like once you fix your mind to those possibilities, now you leave the chance of your emotions arising when you see that they're not on that. And it's like, yo, these people are really, they don't fuck with me. Like now you have to already know who you're dealing with. This is the fucking beast. And you have to come into it knowing that. You can't expect really nothing other than that. And so again, when you do, and they show you a different side of them,
Right.
now you're going to react. You're going to react in a way that arouses your emotions and likely your fear, a lot of your dark side. That shit is like magnetic energy to exactly what they need to create the illusions, bro. And you see, niggas get charged with all type of shit. It's bullshit. They have ways of flipping shit. You know what I'm saying? Once you donate any of your darkness to it, they can flip it. And then before you know it, your mind's playing tricks on you and all type of shit. You know what I mean? And then they got you. It's an energy. It's a demonic energy, in my opinion. So on a tangible level, I just tell my sons to stay very calm and stay poised. You know, knowing that you have a connection to divine energy, and you don't have to react to these people's need for you to see yourself a certain way, or you know, to surrender to their desire for you to be a certain way or in a certain place. Like that's not real authority. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to have to go through some real shit to put me in this, you know, this type of judgment. And again, if you know the laws, then you really know what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? Again, I'm gonna leave it at that. But if you read through these laws and read how they came about and why they're in existence, why you know the state laws can have rules that are different than what's in the Constitution, like how is that even possible? Right. How is that possible? You know what I mean? That's a very serious question, really. How is it possible that there's 50 states and they can vary in ways to where some of them don't even align with the Constitution, which is supposed to govern our whole land?
Right.
There's a reason why that's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to start looking into some of these things, man. It's extremely deep. And you'll learn, and it'll show you how you can be protected from the police. The answers begin in some of those, I don't like to call them rabbit holes, but it's just it's a hole of light, you know what I mean? So you're not going downward into a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? You're elevating your knowledge of what's really going on.
So you just gotta go search for the answers.
Got to. And the thing is, we have to spread the knowledge, you know, because we collectively grow like that, man. You know what I mean? You can collectively grow. Knowledge is power. These is all the themes that was in the early 90s that was like kind of mainstream. it's like now we have to really be out the box just to be conscious. I think we're so programmed that like being knowledgeable about things is like an afterthought almost. Like we just want the sensation of things, man. And there's heavy information out here that can free us from a lot of the bondage that we're under unnecessarily.
Now, bro, what's your thoughts on all these rappers getting killed, bro? And a lot of them is in their hometown. Like, do you go or do you still go to your hometown, like kick it with the homies and shit?
I mean, I live in Penn Hills right now.
Okay.
I've been in Pittsburgh the whole time, but I think there's layers to that. I mean, with the hometown shit, I mean, you plant seeds along the way on your way to the top, and some of these dudes have planted seeds of things that, you know, sadly and fatally, you know, might come back to them. You know, things from the streets, things like that. I think that's one element of it. I think on the other side of it, there's a lot of the same type of energy that we're talking about with the government. I think that there's a lot, because we don't own these things. We don't understand how these power structures are formed and the things that go behind these business plans and the businesses that we don't even know. We ain't the ones making the decisions. We didn't build these. We didn't build it. We don't know what it's built off of. We don't know the energy that keeps it afloat. We don't know none of it. We just sign a paper and we just rap and shit. So, like,
that's real shit.
you know, it's wild, bro. Like, so with that shit, they see who's threatening. Is where I'm going with that. It's like some people are threatening to the agenda, which ties back to the Breakfast Club again. Same thing. It's like there's certain people that don't fit the ignorant agenda that is desired to sensationalize our culture, just to make money off of us, basically, to make it more electric. It's like there's people that don't fit into that. There's people that's putting gems out there on a mainstream level. It's like laying it out there. And that really becomes a rival to the people who have a negative agenda towards this whole rap shit.
Right.
And want to control us. The ultimate goal is to control our minds. Because they know who we would be without being mind controlled, bro. Like, they know we got the glow. Like, they know that. And so, the whole goal is to control your mind, man. And that's just how that's exactly how it works, bro. Like, so what happens is, the dudes that's putting light out, if you become too threatening, these people have ways to try to eliminate you, I think, man. Like, they come for you. You know what I mean? Even Prince, like, Prince died. Prince owned his music. You know, he's telling us, if you listen to his music, man, he's telling a lot of secrets in there, like, about the universe and everything. And, you know, they don't necessarily want us enlightened in that way, man, because then we're not controllable anymore. Like, once you're enlightened, you're not just going to mindlessly go to, oh, I got to go to Walmart, I got to go to McDonald's, oh, I'm going to get my Nikes. Oh, let me cut on my TV and watch the news. And that's all the shit that's generating money for them. Once you're a little bit enlightened, like the chances of that happening, it decreases. And if everyone's getting on that wave, now people are losing money, man. So they need us to be on this like mindless, automatic wave, and they do it in a lot of ways like that. So the people that come across and are like Nipsey Hussle, for example, you know, he's telling people, no, you shouldn't go out on the street and sell and do this and do that. Here's what you should do. You should create a business, and this is how you do a business. And he's giving the gems out, and so that goes against the very theme that they need in order to keep this art lucrative. So it's like, man, this nigga, we gotta get rid of this. I'm not saying that that's what happened to him, but that's where my mind goes with it when I see the themes that some of these dudes are on that just disappear. It's the same with the holistic doctors that just disappear. Like, you know, they got cures to things and all type of shit that would fuck up the pharmaceutical industry.
Right.
And it's like, damn, do we let this nigga just keep revealing shit and lose money eventually? I mean, because this shit got money tied into the world banks and all type of shit, bro. Like, we're in debt. Like, we can't, he don't want this shit to go bankrupt and all that shit, you know what I mean? Again, there's all kind of illusions that avoid us from going bankrupt. And that's all a part of it, bro. They keep the people that are going to enlighten the people, keep them out of the way, bro. They have to. And if you're on that shit, they try to make you sell your soul so that you end up working for them. Being an agent of the dark side. So there's dudes that stand with the light, man, and you just become a threat. And so sometimes, you know, you just become a sacrifice, man.
Get rid of you, for sure.
It's like that. They might not kill you always. They might smear your name and slander you, make up shit, throw lies out, gossip. I mean, you see that on every level. I mean, you see that in Pittsburgh.
Right.
It's like,
for sure.
That's how it goes, though. It's like, that's all part of it, bro. You have to know, you have to just be on a higher plane of thinking that knows what the illusions are and what ain't. You That's just what it is, bro. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Man, did you get a chance to see When They See Us?
I ain't seen, man, I've been so disconnected from everything, bro. I seen the NBA finals, but I don't be seeing nothing, bro. Like, I don't see no movies. I don't really watch no TV shows or nothing, bro. I unplugged, like, I straight up unplugged. Not even on some, like, man, you know, I'm a vegan, I don't watch TV.
Right.
Nah, like, I started losing interest in certain vibes that I was getting from certain themes and things. I started seeing everything, just like we're talking about, like the programming elements of it.
Right.
You know, I study psychology and all that kind of shit in college. Like, I see how the designs are of mind control, and I can just look into it. I can see the tools they use, and it started turning me off, man. A lot of this shit that I was just watching and listening to, it's like, man, I can't look at this shit. I just unplug, yo. Like, I'll see a movie here and there, like, or I'll go back and look at an old movie, but I really be unplugged to the current entertainment circuits, other than really underground hip hop, man. That's really it. And like old school hip hop, 90s hip hop. That's it, bro.
Well, shit. Well, let me ask you this: since you were talking about mind control, what you think about like the gays in cartoons and these motherfuckers pushing like the gay agenda, like starting off on the kids these days?
I think it's wrong to even put any sexuality around kids
Right.
at all. I think that's what went wrong with my generation. You look at the 90s. I remember being 10, 11 years old, and, you know, Color Me Bad comes on the radio. I want to sex you up. My mom would cut that shit off so quick, like, no, because she knew, like, these themes are too mature for your age. Like, your mentality, your consciousness, your development. You're not ready to really get at these themes yet.
Right.
But it's mainstream on the radio, though. So it's like, damn, kids are hearing this type of shit and getting programmed to it. You get desensitized to it eventually.
Right. Sure.
So sexuality of any sort, it's just like, I mean, I remember watching Boys in the Hood with my dad. I was like 10. You know, then the scene comes where Trey's about to get some ass, and then, you know, there's titties out now. My dad's like putting his hand over my eye, because again, I'm young, and I'm really not supposed to be looking at this, but there's good enough themes to where he wanted me to see the shit. And it's like, they were careful with that. I think that sexuality is very careful. You got to be very careful with how that's normalized.
Right.
And you know, when you're doing that with kids and it becomes normalized, now kids become more sexual minded, you know, at a younger age, and that could lead to a lot of different things, man. It could lead to a lot of things being normalized, and some very dark things that I think are ahead in this country. Man, they're normalizing things like, you know, pedophilia and things like that. I've been reading, man. Like, that's where the future could potentially be headed once you start normalizing, you know, a lot of the sexual things that they're doing. You know, putting it in cartoons and shit like that. Like I'm saying, like, you don't really need to think about sex when you're 6 years old watching the Cartoon Network.
Facts.
I wasn't thinking about sex. I didn't think about sex till way later. Like, I just was, you know what I mean? They might have been sneaking themes in, but it wasn't some blatant shit. It was like, oh, sex. I'm
Right.
7 years old. Look, that's a theme of sex. Like,
Real
shouldn't be talking about any of it, though. So, for me, I don't even got to go as far as the gay part of it. I just think that sexuality in general should not be explored. And if they're doing that, then there's a reason why they're doing that. If they're putting it in there that early, and it's a part of like normal programming of cartoons and shit, there's a deeper reason that's involved in it. You know what I mean? Then I'll just end up going back to the spiritual side of things at that point. You know what I mean? I think again, it ties back same thing. Like I talk about mainstream rap and all that. All of this shit and the entertainment. Entertainment is one of the biggest tools to mind control. Like one of the biggest tools of any domain. Like all the shit we watch, the news, movies, TV shows. Like they call it TV programming. Like, oh, you know, we interrupt this program with. We don't even think about the fact that they're calling it a program. Like, you know, oh, TV programming. This is TBS programming. Like, yo, they're programming us, man. Like, it's literal, like, it's social engineering, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Got like one up. He just dropped jewels on us right there. They're programming us, goddammit.
and anything that's like a big time thing, like $1 billion programming, those are people that's trying to get to more people. Like they want to have millions of viewers, though. So if you got millions of people tuned in, you got to dumb it down a little bit so that you could, spread the norm a little bit, so everyone's
Right,
looking
right.
at it like, oh yeah, that's normal. Like all the mass things like that, I can't even rock with it, man. Like, and it was a process for me, man. Like I used to be young and just buying into a lot of shit, man. But I always knew something was wrong with it, and then I just got to a point when I knew what was wrong with it, and I just couldn't really invest in it no more.
Now, that Flint shit was fucked up, but I just seen recently that all the charges against the government were, like misconduct have been dropped.
On the Flint shit,
Yeah.
it's more elements of domination and control. I think it trickles down to certain realities that we see on the surface, and we're
Right.
like, man, what the fuck what's going on in Flint, man? What is this? And it's like, yo, there's a whole variable behind the whole pathology to that point right there. And it's like we don't even know that. But I think it all ties into the same shit. I think it's ridiculous, first of all. Like for people to not have water, like it's ridiculous.
Right.
Like, there's really no, I can't even elaborate on how ridiculous it is. Which lets me know that there has to be something behind that, like in a very high place of dark shit. Because that's just a reality that's not even supposed to come to the surface. You know what I mean?
Well, shit. Let me ask you this, bro. If you get to identify one major habit or ritual that has helped you be successful, what would you say that is?
My spiritual one, man, for sure. Connection to God, man. My belief in God, my connection to God. I think this is a very spiritual reality that we live in. We see a lot of things in the flesh and on the surface, and we try to put a lot of meaning to that. But there's a whole nother force behind all of this stuff, man. So once you get that, I think it puts things in the proper context and perspective, which allows you to move a certain way. So that's been what helped me, man. Just my spiritual perspective of things. Really just taking the craft seriously also.
Okay.
Creatively, I think it is important to respect the craft.
What's something people misunderstand about HUBBS?
Oh man, a lot of things, man. I would say people take me very seriously. I think people think I'm like very serious. Like you can see like if I'm on Facebook and I'm on some deep shit, or I might put some heavy thought provoking shit. People think I'm like this very serious guy, but I'm like I have a lot of sides to me, man. Like I have a very comical humor. I can appreciate comedy and humor. Indulge in that type of interaction or whatever. I can see the funny sides of serious shit and everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I don't think people always know that about me until you're around me in certain contexts or certain whatever. So that's one. I'm not as serious as people think I am. Though I think things are very serious though, but I'm not always as serious about things as people think I am. What else, man? I don't know. I think I make myself be pretty understood, to be honest, man. Like I'm a sincere person, and I put myself out there to be understood. Like I'm willing to sacrifice my neck, essentially to speak the truth of who I am and what I think it is. So I don't think I'm very understood overall, but I would say that part of it. Man. People take me very seriously, sometimes in negative ways, man.
Okay, well, these last
It looks like you don't have any alarms.
I ain't say Google or nothing.
What?
Google tripping, bro. But these last final questions, bro. This is just into this part, bro. These last 5 final questions. We asked these 5 to everybody, bro. The first one is if you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Man. Prince.
Okay.
We'll say Prince, man. All the great ones, man. Like Prince, Michael Jackson. Like, I would want to have dinner also with Stokely Carmichael. I would say. I would want to definitely pull up to the table with talk to him for sure. I'd probably keep it at that, man. The great ones, man. The most most influential people that was on a fight towards life and greatness. That's who I would.
Okay. That's right there.
Prince and Michael Jackson. And if you add Jordan to that, I think that's too heavy of a table, actually. Man. Like, you'll be overwhelmed with that type of energy right there. But I would love to sit with them dudes. I would love to catch that vibe right there.
Okay.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you reach the pearly gates?
It's a deep question. I would just want the confirmation. That's it. The confirmation that I'm of the light. Whatever the confirmation is needed. That's all I would want. I wouldn't want to get into the details of it because I feel like the devil's in the details of things. You know what I mean? I would just want to know that I'm on the same channel, that I've been on that channel all along. I would love to hear that and see that.
Okay.
That's real right there.
That's dope. Right
In the context of that question, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, sir.
When that time comes, that would be.
Now, bro, on today's generation, man, you're always talking about eating the groceries, man. So we need to know, do you get that 2 blunts of Reggie? 5 blunts of Reggie or 5 blunts of Kush, bro?
The groceries?
Yes.
This nigga's undefeated.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should assess people's. I don't think that you should assess sexuality on a standard of one accord. I guess you'll say, man. I think people, different strokes for different folks, man. You know what I mean? I can't really get mad at nobody that want to get to whatever level they want to get to with it. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at that.
So just
that's my most diplomatic way of answering.
Just for the people, we think Hub said he get that 5 blunts of Kush, goddammit.
Hey, whatever vibe you end up in, man, you gotta go with the flow of that, man. You just can't go too far with things, man. There is a limit to going too far, I'll say that. But, hey, you get in them realms, man, certain angles, man, you end up in certain realms, man. It's just on you to go with the flow of where you headed or not, man.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy as hell, man. Next question, bro, is what does happiness mean to Hubs? I mean, what is happiness for you?
Happiness is peace within the moment, for sure. Like being in the moment and not worrying about what's next or tripping on what's behind you. Just being able to be available in the moment, assured, with faith, not even knowing what's ahead. That's happiness to me.
Okay. Yeah, that's great right there.
Sum that up real quick.
I think
He
it's very
knew
simple.
what happened. He knew what happened.
He didn't even have to think. He was like, nigga, this is happening to me.
Very simple, bro.
All right, bro. Well, yeah, that was the end of that part, bro. Let everybody know again where they can reach you at, bro.
It's Hubs, Twitter, Instagram. It's Hubs. Modern Vintage PGH on Instagram and on Twitter. We also got the Modern Vintage page up. So just type in Modern Vintage Pittsburgh on Twitter. Get that joint.
God damn it, this is the Smokers Lounge.
MVPGH is the Modern Vintage Twitter page. My bad.
Can't forget about that one. This is the Smokers Lounge 420 podcast. God damn it, I'm Mr. Styles.
Prez Miller.
I keep forgetting. My bad. I'm waiting on y'all.
Nah, that's all good. We got you next time. Shit. So, bro, I sent you the email. I don't even know if you got it. Did you get the top 10 list?
I didn't check. I forgot you sent the email.
Okay.
I'll do whatever. What was on the email? What was it?
We was going to do top 10 lyricists of all time.
Okay. I could probably opt to dome that.
Okay.
This top 10. So I'm going Nas.
Hold up. We got that.
This is no order.
Hold up.
No order. Alright, I'm going. Oh, my bad.
You good?
Alright, I'm gonna go. This is completely off the dome too. Like I will probably adjust it later. I'm gonna go Nas. I'm gonna go Rakim.
Okay.
Cool G Rap.
Like what up for him?
Ghostface.
Ooh, Ghostface.
Raekwon, he putting in there too.
Okay.
Tupac is definitely going up there.
Okay.
Biggie, that's 7. Styles P.
Okay. That's
Styles
8.
P.
The Ghost.
The Ghost. Like
The
one
Ghost.
Like one for the Ghost.
Gangsta and the Gentleman. He said, I give you both sides of the coin. So that's 8. You might have to put Jada. I mean, you can't. It's hard to do the Ghost without Jada on there. I'll throw Jada in just because you got to do that. That's 9. Then KRS was throw in there for 10.
Okay. Okay. Well, shit, man.
That was quick. I missed out on Big Daddy Kane, which I can't. Let's take Jada out and put Big Daddy Kane instead of Jada.
Dang, put Jada in there. Oh shit, man. My list, man. niggas don't be out there clowning my list, goddamn it. My list, man. Number 10. I got a light-skinned nigga Drake at number 10, dog.
Drake is a lyrical dude. So he's a lyrical dude.
Number 9.
It's all about the content.
Right, straight up. Number 9, I got T.I. 8, I got Kiss. 7, I got Fab. 6, I got Tupac. 5, I got Mr. West.
You gotta respect Kanye, man. I mean, he goes through a lot of narratives, but like you can't really sleep
Like,
on Kanye.
like if we speaking all the time, like his first 2 joints, man, is timeless to me.
His first 2 were incredible.
You know what I mean? I got Weezy at 4. I got Biggie at 3. I got Jay-Z at 2. I got the white boy Eminem at 1.
See, I didn't even mention J and M. Like,
yeah, so
I'm all over. My list will vary depending on the time, I guess, man. It all depends on how I'm looking at things at the time.
okay.
My 10 though, well, I'm the youngest here by like a decade. So.
Yeah, this nigga's born in 92 and shit.
91.
I remember 91.
I mean, so
I was listening to shit in 91.
my list goes 10. I got Kanye. 9, I got Kiss. 8, I got Pun. 7, I got Cassie. I mean, I'm real big on punchers and everything like that. 6, I got Wayne. Old Wayne, you know what I mean, like South Wayne, all that shit like that. 5, I got Jay. 4, I got Biggie. 3, I got Crooked Eye. 2, I got M. And 1, when it comes to lyricists, I don't think no one's better than Tech 9.
Ooh. Hey, I would like to add, MF Doom is in my top 10. Also.
MF Doom? He's nice. Okay.
But I would have to think about who I'm taking out first.
Well, shit, bro.
That's an ill list. Y'all both got some respectable lists.
Yeah.
You got like the early 2000s type of influence. Like that list took me through like 04, 05.
Yeah.
Shit. You had some of them dudes too. Probably was a little younger in the days.
Yeah. Yeah, we rock on this. Is the Smokers Lounge, but bro, before we let you get up out of here, bro. Talk a little sports.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into real into sports. Yeah. This is real nigga sports, goddamn it. Real nigga sports, huh? Man, the Raptors won the championship, bro. I mean, like I said before, I wasn't a fan of the Raptors. I was going for Golden State, man. What about you? I know you're a good fan.
I rock with Golden State, man. I wanted them to rock, but when I seen kind of what their fate was, I kind of just like accepted the fact that Toronto was going to take it, and I understood why. Like the injuries came into play. It just seemed like some of the energy got thrown off, but they wasn't doing that with the injuries out without KD. I think they could have did it with Clay and Steph. I think they was about to do it actually if Clay didn't go down in that last game.
Right.
I think they was about to win all the shit. After Cats was booing and shit when KD went out, like I think the vibe was off, and I think Golden State was gonna pull that off. But once Clay went down, I was like, nah, this is a wrap, man. But I'm not even mad though. Like I think Kawhi Leonard is a monster. I think he's a machine. I think he respects the game enough to where it's good when you see guys like that get their reward at the end. He deserves it. You can tell he just worked. And, he respects the game.
Yeah, that's my favorite player right there, man. But it was bittersweet for me because it was like, I don't want this nigga to win because I want him to come to the Lakers. But man, I'm a Lakers guy, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I was like, if this nigga win, he's definitely gonna stay in Toronto, even though he might not be. But that was my mindset.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I want my nigga to lose and shit.
Me, I don't like the Raptors, you know what I mean? I don't even like Golden State either, but I want Golden State to win because I don't rock with Kyle Lowry, but like Hub said, man, Kawhi Leonard is a monster. You gotta respect him. He respects the game, plays the game the right way and everything. And I mean, you know he's a dude that puts in all the work.
Right, for sure.
Slacks off, so
Sure.
it was good to see him get another one, man.
Yeah.
So all props to him.
Now, what you think about the Harden Chris Paul like turmoil and shit? Them niggas going out and shit.
You know what's crazy? I ain't been up on a lot of the recent news. I told you, like, I don't watch a lot of shit. I watch the finals, and I know about hoops because my kids is heavy into it. I hoop myself, so I'm always in tune with what's going on. But I don't be heavy up to date with a lot of shit these days. Even with all sports, really. Like, but I still appreciate sports because I'm an athlete myself. You know what I mean? But with Chris Paul and them, I didn't even hear about that. I think it doesn't surprise me because I think with a lot of these trades and super teams and orchestrations, I think that it comes with drama naturally.
Right.
It comes with, like, you're just putting egos together for the sake of, like, winning and shit. Like, you're not building a team. Like, a real team is when the vibe is collectively. You look at them Bulls teams, like, cats weren't really, the individuals beyond Jordan and Pippen, like, they weren't really even that good. But Phil Jackson had the dudes playing on a vibe to where, like, everyone was, you know, on their own shit. Like, everyone did their part. Everyone did their part and executed to perfection. And, like, it helped them win. And Jordan led that shit. But nowadays, the chemistry is different because it's like it's a different type of glory chase. Like, I don't know. Like, it's good. Cats just want to say they got their rings. Like, back in the day, it was like, cats just was, I don't know. It was more competitive or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It was weird. I think that shit is full of drama though.
That's real.
I could tell that's a dramatic situation without even really knowing the details of it. It just sounds like Chris Paul. What is it? They're feuding right now.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, CP3 said that's news to him that they're feuding, but I just see it because you have someone in Chris Paul who likes to run the team as the point guard. You know what I mean? But the system you have is James Harden, ISO playing 1v1 the whole damn season.
Right.
Chris Paul got to stand over here and do nothing.
Right.
So it's like, hold on, bro. Like, I know this don't work,
Weak as hell.
but you know what I mean. So of course it's one of these. You have two apexes who play totally different ball.
Right. You a Steelers fan, bro?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. You gotta be from the bird. That's my
Facts.
I mean, so what you thinking about it this year, man? Well, first of all, before we get into it, what did you think about the Bell and Brown?
Yeah, man, it's tragic, man. It was tragic, man. I look at it, man. Come on, Antonio Brown, like, he's one of the GOATs, man. Like, legitimately, objectively, like. So it's unfortunate to see him leave. Number one, but just leaving the way things went, that makes it even more whack. Bell, I think he was being kind of a diva with his whole situation. I wasn't as mad to see him go. He gets hurt a lot, first of all, and he's just dramatic about shit. I think he's a great asset that we need, for sure. I think we would have did better with him this past season. But I was hurt more with AD, man. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, the Steelers always got these crazy receivers, and then they come and go.
Right, for sure.
But Ben is there the whole damn time. You know what I'm saying? And nigga, Ben wouldn't be who he is without them dudes, though. Like, and that shit pisses me off, though. Like, that's the one thing I don't like about how it goes in Pittsburgh, man. Seemingly, you know what I mean?
Okay. So, I mean, how do you think we're going to do this year without, until you just mentioned?
It's going to be tough. I think we had a good draft from what I heard. So it's going to be a building year. I think the spirit of Pittsburgh, though, man, like, we always end up being competitive, though, like, no matter what. Like, we just surprise ourselves and shit. Like, I wouldn't expect no miracles or nothing like that this next season. Even Shazier going out, like, we had a lot of things that just deflated our whole momentum we had for the last couple of years. Like, I think we had AB, Bell, and Shazier.
Right.
Still, like, that's a heavy nucleus of like a force right there, man. Like, so we're rebuilding right now, man. So I don't know. I'm going 8-8 type of season, 9-7, something like that, man. I always see us going like that. I'm always hopeful with the Steelers, man.
I got us at, be truthfully, I got us at 11-5 or 10-6 at the worst.
10-6.
Yeah.
Because I mean we lost AB, like AB hurt. I mean I loved AB. I was rocking with AB for the longest, even when he was throwing dirt back and everything. But just cause I mean just seeing what the vibe is now, you know what I mean, everyone's on the same level. Everyone seems to have the same energy and everything like that. So and I feel like Ben has something to prove, man. I mean everyone. I mean you always hear people say wide receivers made Big Ben and everything. I feel like Ben's like, right, come on, man. Like I've been the constant for the last 15 years. I mean we've done nothing but win. So we'll see, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hopeful.
Well, shit, man. That wraps up Real Nigga Sports, goddammit. Once again, people, everybody out there listening, this is Smokers Lounge 420 podcast. I'm Mr. Styles. That's President.
I'm Prez Miller. My fault. I was checking my phone. I got a text. My fault.
It's HUBBS.
HUBBS in the building. You got Prez over there sleeping and shit, goddamn.
Nah, yo, I just got a text as soon as he said it. You know what I mean? I was reading. I couldn't multitask. And, yo, don't boo me. Why are you booing me, yo?
Straight
I'm
up.
right.
Straight up. But anyway, yeah. So we had HUBBS in the lounge. You know, episode number 27. Goddamn it.
27, man. That was
It's
5 months.
right, for sure. You know, it's been a great show. You know, Brad, you got any more questions for HUBBS, man?
Nah, man. I think we covered all of them pretty much, man. Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all having me too, man.
Oh, no,
You
man.
got to a heavy interviews. I like interviews where you actually get into some shit, man. It ain't like, you know what I mean? We got to some real shit right there.
Right, yeah,
I
for sure.
appreciate y'all having me, letting me use this as a platform to speak something like that.
Oh, no doubt, man. Yeah, man. Before you get out, man, you definitely gotta let everybody know where they can reach you one more time for the slow people out there.
Absolutely. It's HUBBS on Twitter, Instagram. It's HUBBS, and also Modern Vintage PGH on Instagram. That's the main joints right there. And then Facebook is HUBBS.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And make sure if you haven't jammed William Penn to go check that out, man. That's an incredible project.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So.
And if you ain't jam William Penn, jam that one. All three of the first joints, like jam all that shit. Just don't stop there, goddammit. Like one up for that.
Yep.
Go through the whole catalog, man. Go on the journey.
Yeah, for sure.
It's worth it. It's worth it, man.
Like I always say, man, you don't start with Godfather 3, you know what I mean? You start with the first motherfucker, then you work your way out, you know what I mean? Don't start with the last shit. But we about to get up out of here, people. Once again, if you like the shirts, you know what I mean? Smoke weed every day, you heard it. You know what I mean? The hat and shit, goddammit. The Smokers Lounge 420.com. Make sure you get yours. We got everything. And we want to thank HUBBS once again for coming out.
Yes, sir.
Goddamn it, HUBBS.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
You know what I mean? Give it up for HUBBS one more time. And I think people, we about to get up out of here. Always remember, keep your head up, because you can't see shit looking down.
I wanna be